Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing some resin pouring. Now for some of you who have been following me since the beginning of time, I did do a resin pour video with eyeshadows and I really enjoyed it. That was about a good year and a bit ago. I think it's actually exactly a year ago now. It actually happens to be one of the most popular videos on my YouTube channel. I don't know why it's taking me this long to be able to order the resin and actually do another video because I really did enjoy it. Quick disclaimer, I'm not the pro artist at resin pouring. It is just a bit of fun for me and there is far better resin pour artists out there on YouTube. I'm just doing this for a bit of fun and because I enjoy it. So that aside, I want to show you what I'm going to be doing and how I'm doing it. Yeah. So to start off, I have bought some resin, obviously, to do some resin pouring from a company called Swindon Supplies. I did use them last time with the kind of, what's it called, like a sample pot of resin, and this time I actually went for the 2 kilogram set. Now this was a little bit more expensive. It worked out about £70, but it is slightly cheaper on their website. I have this pre-made canvas, which I made actually. It's roughly about an 8x10 size. So these are the pots that I used last time, so I'm just going to reuse them because I don't like to waste anything. And I'm going to be using exactly the same eyeshadow palette, which I got when I think I was 16, and I'm terrible. I don't want to throw away anything. So roughly, I'm going to have to use, let's say if I went for that bright luminous hot pink, I would have to use that one plus another 2 just to mix up to have enough eyeshadow pigment. So I think the main colours I want to go for again this time is, well, I'm going to use a hot pink. I'm going to put it into the red pots that I've already got here. Simply just scratch out. I kind of want to go for blue, but there is very limited surrounding colours of that, so I think I'm going to go for a green. Put a green into this kind of turquoise collection here. I want one more kind of in-your-face colour. I think purple. Purple again will be nice, since it's quite a large selection of them still available. Okay, now that all the colours are in, I need to make sure that all the granules are pretty much like powdered like, so I'm just going to go around, mix it in, and try and flatten. I'm going to start with the lightest to darkest in pouring in the resin. And that one's done. So that's all 5 of them, all 5? Yeah, all 5 of them done. I can now begin to have a bit of fun. Just going to pour that rest of the stuff on here. Okay, right, I think the first colour we're going to go in with is the lightest. It's kind of like a whitey grey, this colour. Onto the purple. And lastly onto the black. Right, so this next part is going to be a loud noise warning because I am going to be using a hairdryer to move it about. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy. So after all that, I didn't even realise I didn't even put resin into my pink. So I'm just going to pour that on top and then carry on. Okay, this is your loud noise warning again. Cool. Okay, so what I'm going to do is wait for this to dry and then properly show you the resin painting, because from what you can see on the phone, it's completely different from what's on the canvas from my view. It's just because of the reflection. So I will join you back in a week's time. It is now the next day and it has completely dried, which I'm very, very happy about, because when it comes to resin, you have to make sure that the proportion is bang on pretty much, because otherwise it will not cure and it's a waste of resin, which in my case is an expensive wastage that I do not want to have. So this is it's pretty much dried. It's really, really nice and soft. Obviously you can tell I've already had a few problems, including the lumpage of the mixture. That can be easily remedied to make sure I do properly scrape around and blend up the eyeshadows. I also had another problem with the corners, but that again is very easily sorted out, especially with this piece. I can literally pour a little bit of leftover resin from my next project onto the top of it and it will be like a third dimension. It will give the piece a bit of depth and I will not waste any resin either. In terms of colour and how well it's worked, I think I really like it. It's just so wacky and you've got all these lovely, brilliant little marks where you've just kind of crossed into each other, and little marks up here can see, kind of reminds me of like veins. I do think the mixture could have done with, like each individual pot could have done with a bit more resin. But again, that's just practice. Practice makes perfect. You can tell from the off pours of how like well mixed I've done it, and this is actually pretty concentrated, which is what I wanted. But when it comes on the canvas, you can see that it's been diluted quite a bit. Not too much that it's an irritation, but it is diluted, and I believe that is because it is a fresh canvas. It hasn't been primed at all. Luckily for me though, it isn't a worry because I actually like how textured and how depth worthy it is, especially with the hot pink that I actually put on last after blending in some more of the colours. So maybe next time I need to put 1 or 2 colours on, heat up and let it do its thing on primed surface. With that said, I also want to mention how I did use the resin at room temperature. I think it was about 14 degrees when I actually did pour it, and I think if I had warmed up the resin part A and part B separately and maybe then put it into the pot to actually form the resin, even for like 10 minutes, just warm it up a little bit more, I think it would have been a lot more easier to spread about and therefore not create such a blendness across the whole palette. But saying that, there's quite a lot that didn't actually blend in together. It's mostly the lighter shades that blended into each other. So yeah, that is my little experiment done. I'm really, really happy with this. This is such a cool piece. The only thing to do now is just to go over a couple of the corners and maybe put a very thin layer on top. And yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a like and subscribe to my channel if you did. Let me know what you thought in the comment section below. With that in mind, I shall see you guys very, very soon. Bye now.